Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This video is going to be covering the patch notes of the update coming out next week, so be sure to like, subscribe, and join our Discord to be notified of our upcoming videos, since we are going to be uploading another video on this update when it comes out. So yeah, without further ado, let's go into it. And as you can see right here, we are at our Stash and Dash property that we covered in the last video. If you want to check that video out, be sure to click the link in the description, or there should be a card popping up on the screen, so click that if you want to visit it. Alright, let's get into it. Okay, so the first update is replacing employee beds with lockers. So as you can see right here, this is a bed for an employee, and it takes up roughly as much space as this mixing station Mark II, which is bad because this is a lot of wasted space, and we could, for example, have 4 storage racks right here, but instead we have a bed, which is basically useless. The only use for it is giving the employee money, which is very inefficient. So let's say the replacement, which is the locker, takes up as much space as this suspension rack right here. It would be a very big space optimization. Let's say the locker takes up half as much space as the bed. We could fit, let's say, 3 or 4 more large storage racks in there, which is very good. For properties like the motel, bungalow, or apartment, which have inherently low spaces and would benefit from this update. Alright, now for our next update is item slot filters. So let's say in this storage rack right here, you have a cook, and you have a handler that takes out this cook and puts it in this mixer right here. So what would happen if you replace the cook with a Viagra? Well, as you expect, the handler is going to take this out and put in the Viagra right here in place of this cook that we wanted to give, that we want the mixer to have, which is very bad because it's going to mess up our recipe if we have a multiple stage recipe, and this is, for example, the third stage is going to mess up the whole recipe. So what this item filter does is ensure that the cook is always in this spot. So a very good update for optimizing spaces. And our other videos for our other setups, for example, the barn uses 3 storage racks for 3 ingredients for a mixture. But now you can just use one and assign these 2 spaces for cook, these 2 spaces for banana, these 2 spaces for Viagra, and you will ensure that the employee always gets the item it needs to from these spaces. Let's move on to the next one. The next update is transferring employees between properties. So this update is very useful for saving time and money because let's say we have assigned this employee to the wrong location and we want to move them to the right location. Without this update, we would talk to them, tell them your services are no longer required, and fire them. And then what we would need to do is go from this property that we don't want the employee to be in, go all the way to the warehouse right here, and go up to this guy right here, talk to him, and tell him you want to hire the employee, and actually choose the right location, which is very inefficient for time and money because that bonus right there costs $15,000 for a signing fee, which you would just be throwing away. And if you have low money, that wouldn't be efficient. So instead of doing that with a new update, you would just reassign the employee to the right location, saving you travel times and saving you money, which is very great. All right, for our next update, it's going to be changing trash can pickup area from circular to square. So this update right here changes this trash cans area from this circle right here to a square. So for example, if you wanted to put another trash can, for example, there would be another circle overlapping with this one, which in circles, you cannot have them perfectly matching without overlapping. So the change to squares, you could have them perfectly next to each other so you do not have to overlap them and waste space and potentially cause bugs with cleaners. So very good update, thumbs up for that. Alright, now for the last change is fixing any remaining employee / pathfinding bugs. These fixes are absolutely essential to the game because employees have a lot of bugs, like for example, them going up to a station and just infinitely doing the action without you being able to do anything. So those bugs impact your game in a very negative way, which will be fixed in the next update, hopefully. And yeah, this is it for this video. If you liked it, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Also, join our Discord server if you need any help with our videos or have any suggestions. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.